We all know sleep is important, and that is interlinked with your circadian clock. And we all know fasting has shown impressive results. But now it seems the two may also be linked, and indeed your internal clock may be the most important of them all. So today I'm going to talk about the recent study that seems to suggest just that. And if you stay to the end, I will try to bring it all together so we can all learn something. The circadian clock consists of molecular machinery present in most cells and conserved across evolution, allowing organisms to align physiological parameters with daily environmental cycles. And as it is conserved through evolution, it would suggest it has quite an important role. The same is true with dietary restrictions. First, let us clarify what we mean by these terms. Intermittent fasting includes various protocols of feeding and fasting for longer than 24 hours at a time, and usually requires a reduction in calorific intake, whereas time-restricted feeding is where food intake is restricted daily to certain hours of the day, but total dietary intake is not restricted. It should be noted, interestingly, that the feeding regime of the flies was 12 hours with food and 12 hours without food. However, the accepted window for humans tends to be more around 14 to 16 hour fast is optimum. Time-restricted feeding has been shown to attenuate age-related cardiac decline during aging, as well as increase sleep and muscle function, and can help improve a number of metabolic markers, including weight, body fat, blood pressure, energy intake and endurance, most especially in individuals already at risk for metabolic syndrome. These are all results observed in studies involving humans. Other observations have been to lower blood cholesterol and sugar levels, reduce inflammation and dysbiosis, while increasing energy expenditure, motor control and endurance. But these have only been done in mice studies. And with time-restricted eating, as interesting as its health benefits are, they do not seem to require a reduction in calorific intake. This leaves its mechanism of action as not well understood, and in contrast to the mechanisms believed to be in action in actual fasting protocols. However, it does seem to increase the amplitude of circadian rhythms of various physiological parameters, which normally have a tendency to flatten during the aging process. And this may explain why those who are unhealthiest see greater benefit, because they will tend to have older genetic ages. There are two broad theories of aging: the disposable soma and the bloated soma. The theory of the disposable soma is the accumulation of molecular damage after reproduction has been accomplished. The theory of the bloated soma is the result of hyperplastic processes and hyperfunction theory, where hyperplasia and hypertrophy derive pathologies later in life. Time-restricted feeding mediated lifespan extension could affect aging via both categories, it is conjectured. Already, circadian clocks have been shown to increase detoxifying xenobiotic metabolism to remove unwanted foreign compounds, and also to improve resistance to molecular damage from reactive oxygen species, suggesting that time-restricted feeding might also ameliorate aging by reducing the accumulation of molecular damage. This study also suggests that time-restricted feeding flies lose weight, reducing biomass and potentially lessening hyperplasia and hypertrophy during aging, supporting the bloated soma theory. But in the end, this is a single study, and it needs replication and progression into other longer-lived mammals for us to see any true links and relationships with more clarity. As David Sinclair tweeted, "Interesting, fruit flies fed intermittently only live longer if they have a functioning circadian sleep-wake clock in internal organs. Perhaps fasting is less about hunger and more about resetting our internal clocks." Personally, I would take the approach of trying to optimize your sleep with your circadian patterns, and to also eat a fresh, nutritious, balanced diet of all the food groups, trying to consume calories for over a period of maybe 6 to 10 hours, and having the rest without snacking or sugary drinks, with occasional fasts of varying length. The goal is not to live in a way that will cause early death or increased debilitation, but it is also to enjoy your time and not to live like a monk or by torturing yourself every day. If you have enjoyed this video, why not try this other video on issues surrounding sleep? And if you have already seen that, then try this one. And well, I will see you soon. Thank you for dropping by.